Hi Pisces, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website addressed below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So this week, for your third week of February, in your February tarot reading, you got the Moon card. Moon card actually represents the sign of Pisces, so this is your card. This is your energy infusing the entire week. Mercury goes retrograde in your sign, so you could be thinking at a really deep level this week. You could be really redefining your own boundaries, or maybe even deciding that it's time to put some boundaries in place. Now, a lot of people say like, oh really? But you know, Pisces is the sign of not having boundaries. But it is a retrograde, so you could be thinking about what is it that I can put in place to give myself some balance, to give myself some boundaries, or ultimately to give me some sort of stability. There's a feeling this week that you really want to get into your own energy, your own sort of, almost like you want to get into your own groove, so to speak. So your actions and your path ahead, you have the Queen of Wands, right? I talked about boundaries, look at that, and you get the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is all about reaffirming your boundaries, establishing your boundaries, knowing where the line in the sand is, or knowing how to draw the line in the sand. Your actions and your path ahead is about what you do, right? This is about how you show up in the world, how you move through life. And the fact that you have the Queen of Wands really is about you. It's about you really setting down some firm boundaries. This week you're thinking long and hard about what it is that you need, about where it is that you might be going, and ultimately what that looks like for you. So your Queen of Wands would be a fire sign woman, a fire sign female. So this would be an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. Somebody that is feisty, vibrant, fun, sensual, sexual. She also represents sexuality and sensuality and the mysteries of life. So when you get this card as an actions card, this is about you really trying to find a way to bring the outside, to bring the inside out, right? This is about you finding ways to show up as yourself in all senses that you would like to, in all ways that you would like to. You'll have to forgive the beeping, sorry, we have building works going on here at the moment and it's driving me crazy. On a brighter note, all right, this is, I mean, for you, like I said, this is about you finding those boundaries and laying those boundaries. It does see you really, because it's coming through the guise of your Moon card, right? So you could be looking at the past and saying to yourself, right, in the past I haven't been very focused, in the past I haven't been very disciplined, but these are things that I can now cultivate. These are things that I can now start to welcome in or bring into my life. Either way, this week I feel like you're taking life by the horns and you're saying, you know what, this is how we're going to proceed. This is how we're going to make things happen from here on in, which is a great energy. So for your communications and conversations, you have the Seven of Cups, right? So your Seven of Cups, very much a card of confusion. It has a very Neptunian sort of energy. Your Seven of Cups really does see you having this experience of being spread too thin, of maybe having too much to do, of maybe not, you know, maybe not finding or feeling that you have a balance in your life. With the Queen of Wands there, this is where you start to exercise and learn the power of a really good no. This is where you start to shore up your boundaries. It's where you start to get a handle on, or an understanding of where you should be saying no, where you should be standing up for yourself, and ultimately where it is that somebody or someone is expecting too much of you. Now, the interesting thing is all of this comes through the guise of the Moon card. So this does suggest to me there may be an echo here of a previous experience, a previous job. There might be moments that you look at this and say, hang on a sec, this feels familiar. And because it feels familiar, or because it feels like a path that you've already walked, this is about you saying, you know what, now is a different experience. Now is a different moment, and I refuse to have that experience going forward. I refuse for the present moment to look like the past moment where I felt like I was taken advantage of, where I felt like maybe somebody wasn't doing or giving the best for me, or even maybe where they were imposing or encroaching too much on me or on what is expected from me, which is actually a really big thing. When you utilize that power of really standing your ground or saying no to people, what it actually looks like is them kind of getting, stepping off, or kind of saying, wow, okay, maybe I need to rethink my approach to this, or I need to find ways of doing this differently. For your money and materials, you have the Six of Swords. This looks really good for you. Money looks like it's great this week, and what it's actually offering you is maybe a look or a glimpse or a glance at doing things in ways that are actually more beneficial for you. How do you get more out of what you're getting? How do you improve your finances in ways that aren't going to stretch you too thin? Maybe finding ways to consolidate your two jobs. Maybe going for a job that pays enough for you to do what it is that you want to do. Maybe this is about increasing the yield from the things that you do. Because it is the Six of Swords, this sees you looking elsewhere. So for a lot of you, you could be looking at different jobs. Maybe you're looking at different career paths, maybe different sectors of work. Just, there's a lot of change here. And your Six of Swords does suggest that you will be able to do what you want to do. It just suggests that something about the way that you operate or navigate this week is going to come under question. It's going to have to change, because it's kind of coming through the guise of that Seven of Cups there. What you're being asked to look at is, it's like, when you sell a package of something. And what's the point in selling the package? So you're selling more items of that unit, but for less, because they're being sold as a package. That doesn't make sense. It's kind of like a false economy. And this week you could really be starting to understand that on a very personal level, so I guess this week it's more about the quantity than the quality, the quality rather than the quantity. And then for your love and relations, you've got the Ace of Pentacles. It does look like, Pisces, a lot of you single ones are meeting somebody new. And interestingly enough, I've seen this card in this position for you guys for like the last 2, maybe 3 weeks. So it does suggest that whoever is coming in, they have their own everything, right? They've got their own finances, they've got their own place, they've got pretty much everything that you could want, somebody to have. So whatever they're bringing, they just add to the pot, which is really, really nice. Again, I'll say this to you, it's opposite the Six of Swords. So this is either somebody that you're going to meet on your commute or your travels, or it's somebody that is what we would call a foreign national, somebody that is an international, somebody that is very, very different to you, somebody that's from a different background, a different culture, possibly even a different country. This is really nice. For those of you that are partnered, this is about you guys collectively looking at your finances, and it's asking you, or rather this is seeing you guys asking yourselves and each other, where are we spreading ourselves too thin when it comes to the finances? What is it that we can put in place or change or make different now in order to to get more out of it? And ultimately, where is it that we should be doing and shouldn't be doing? There's a lot of this sort of energy floating about for you guys, Pisces, and it does look like you're really starting to look at things now and discover, okay, what are the alternatives? What are the options? And ultimately, where is it that I should be standing my ground that little bit more? I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know how it shapes up for you. Take care, and I'll see you soon.